Hi class, today we are on Saxon Book 3, Lesson 50, and this is the second part of our probability lesson. So, when we talked about probability before, we talked about things being more likely and less likely. So let's take a look at my first spinner over here. If this were a spinner in a game, would it be more or less likely for the spinner to land on the 1? It would be more likely because look at all of this space that's for number 1 versus this little bit of space that's for number 2. So it's more likely to land on 1. It's less likely to land on 2. Okay, take a look at our second spinner because sometimes we're going to have options that are equally likely, such as in this case. Half of the spinner is 3, half of the spinner is 4. So can I say it's more likely to land on a 4? No, because it's the same probability. We call that equally likely to land on 3 as on 4. Okay? Let's look at our first example. It says compare the following outcomes by using the terms more likely, less likely, or equally likely. So we're going to look at this spinner right here. Notice half of the circle is 1, and then this side is split in half again. So 1/4 of the circle is a 2, and 1/4 is a 3. So the first question, is it more likely, less likely, or equally likely to spin a 1 or spin a 2? So we would say it is more likely that we're going to spin a 1. We know that because more space is dedicated to the number 1 than the 2. Second question, same spinner. Is it more likely, less likely, or equally likely to spin a 2 or spin a 3? So look at your 2 and your 3. We'll pretend it's a perfect circle. I know it's not. And we say it's equally likely to be a 2 as a 3 because it's the same amount of space inside the spinner there. All right, our next probability example has to do with my bag of marbles here. It says, create a table that shows the number of each color of marble in this bag. If 1 marble is taken from the bag, which color is least likely to be picked? Which color is most likely to be picked? So I've got 4 different colors of marbles in this bag. We're going to start by creating a table. So my table oftentimes just looks like a T-chart here. We have color and number. So I see black marbles. I see red marbles. I see blue marbles. And I see 1 white marble. So how many black marbles? If you can't see, I'll point to them. There's 1 black one, 2 black ones, 3, 4 black marbles. How many red marbles do we have? 1, 2. How many blue marbles? 1, 2, 3. And how many white marbles? Just the 1 up there. So here's the first part of our question. We created the table like it asked us to do. The second part of the question says, which color is least likely to be picked? If we were just to pick 1 marble out of the bag. Well, least likely should be my smallest number here. So least likely is white. What's the most likely color to be picked out of the bag? That's going to be the biggest number, in this case, black. Most likely is a black marble. So, with probability, just because it's most likely, am I definitely going to pull a black marble out of the bag? Nope. Any of these marbles are a possibility. It's just that there's more options to pick a black one because there's more black in the bag. If you've ever been to a raffle, you've seen this take place. So my kids and I went to a raffle just a couple months ago, and they had a kids raffle. And so my kids got some tickets, I bought them some, and then they used their own money to buy more because they really, really wanted to win something. And they understood with probability, the more tickets that are in the jar that have their name on it, the more likely their ticket is to get pulled. So my children put tickets in 2 different baskets, and they put a lot of tickets in 2 different baskets. They won one, but their ticket didn't get pulled in the other one, even though they probably had more tickets in there than anyone else. So that's how probability works. Just because it's most likely doesn't guarantee it will happen. The only way to guarantee that we're going to pull a black marble out of this bag is to fill the bag with only black marbles. And you guys saw that a little bit in our last lesson on probability where I was pulling the cubes out of the tub, I think. All right, so all that is left for today is your lesson practice. I would like for you to turn to page 272 in your textbook, do the lesson practice, and if you're in my class, we're going to go over the answers to these when I meet with you later today. If you are just finding me on YouTube, you can find the answers in the answer key for the Saxon Math book. They have the lesson practice as well as the written practice answers in them. I hope you have a great day. Once you finish the lesson practice, don't forget to do your written practice homework, which also begins on page 272. I'll see you again soon.